car dealership is having a problem with thousands of pesky birds. So the dealership bought the BirdXPeller. Find out what this does next on Channel 10 News.
And wheels are colliding in South Florida. Thousands of flocking birds have been calling a Fort Lauderdale car dealership home. But tonight the dealership may have found a way to make the birds fly the coop. Reporter Todd Tongan is live in Fort Lauderdale with the latest. Todd, what are they doing?
Well, Dwight, it's a foul situation, pardon the pun. The birds have been nesting in nearby trees, but now they've moved over to the dealership. And so, of course, after the birds leave, they've got to wash the cars continually. Well, tonight they're trying something new. Every evening they come by the thousands. You can almost set your watch when they arrive, about 5:45. It's an amazing sight, but these blackbirds leave behind an unsightful mess. Do you guys have any idea why they're picking on you?
I don't think they're picking on us. I think they're visiting us, hopefully like our customers do.
The dealership doesn't have anything against these birds. They just want to shoo them away. So tonight they have a surprise for their fine feathered friends. The dealership says it's tried all kinds of things to get rid of the birds, but so far no luck. So they purchased the BirdXPeller. Basically, this is a PA system that will mimic different types of birds in distress, hopefully giving a signal to the other birds not to land. They heard about BirdX from a Fort Lauderdale police officer who said they had the same problem at the station, and BirdX worked. The dealership hopes the whole thing isn't a bird-brained idea.
And actually, it was dead simple to put together. I think it was fairly expensive. $750 for a little gadget seems like a lot of money, but if it works, it'll be well worth the investment.
Now the big problem is that one of the salespeople told me is that sometimes these birds will target the salespeople out here, but they say if you get hit by one of the birds, it's actually good luck. Why is it good luck? They say because cows can't fly. Little used car salesman humor. By the way, they've been told that it'll take between 6 and 10 days for the BirdX to work, so we're ready for them. Todd Tongan, Channel 10 News.
And you'll just have to stay there and do a follow-up. We'll see what happens there.
I can't even comment on that one.
More than just the SkyTrain brakes have been screeching lately at a local station. It turns out that some owls, hawks, and other birds of prey have made a home at the stadium SkyTrain station, or at least in the speakers. As Michelle Simic tells us, TransLink has brought them in for a reason.
Welcome to the jungle at Stadium Station. But just what exactly is that infernal racket?
Do you know what that sound was that you just heard? Well, I always say it's like pterodactyls, but I have no idea. I don't. They're scary though, very scary. That sound you were just hearing, do you know what that is?
No, never.
Did it? Oh, what is that? It's a bird? I don't know. I don't know what is that.
Sounds like a bird is being attacked or something.
Well, getting closer. What was that sound you just heard? Do you know?
I think it was birds of prey to scare off the birds.
Bingo! The birds of prey sounds being pumped out of these speakers are TransLink's latest trick to scare off pesky pigeons and crows that can shut the trains down.
What we have down below is a safety device. It's an infrared line from one point of the station to the other, and if that line is broken, that cuts the power to the track.
Though some riders wonder if TransLink is trying to scare them off along with the birds.
What do you think of that idea?
I hate it.
How come?
Well, it took me a long time before I found out what it was, and I was concerned about the bird, but it's also really annoying.
While others say they enjoy the new jungle ambiance.
Well, that's not a bad idea. That's very ingenious.
Either way, TransLink says it's working.
Basically what happens is when you run something like this for perhaps 2 days, birds become very tired of the whole thing and they decide to just go away and they don't come back.
And while the sounds are meant to be hawks, peregrine falcons, and owls, some passengers remain skeptical.
What do you think an owl sounds like?
I have never heard one. I thought they went hoo-hoo.
Do you think that that's what an owl sounds like?
No, not at all. Owls are more peaceful, I thought.
If you had to... What would you say an owl sounds like?
More like hoo-hoo. The sounds are just an experiment, and right now TransLink says it's looking at whether the project has been working and whether they'll need to use the faux birds of prey sounds at other stations. In Vancouver, Michelle Simic, News 4, Shaw TV.
They sound like birds have invaded downtown Tulsa, but it's really all part of an elaborate plan.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here at 6 o'clock. I'm Scott Thompson.
And I'm Terry Hood.
If you spend much time in downtown Tulsa, certainly you've heard all the screeching and squawking. Now, to some, it may be just high-pitched noise, pollution. But as the News on 6's Rick Wells shows us tonight, it's really designed to prevent pollution of another kind.
Birds downtown have been a problem for years, roosting in and around buildings, dive-bombing cars and people. When folks at Trinity Episcopal Church finally cut down some trees around the front of the church, it became impossible to keep the area clean. Some birds still hang out in the bushes, but there's not the health and maintenance problem as before.
A couple of years ago, the folks here at the Federal Building realized they had a bird problem. And it wasn't so much the birds, it's what the birds left behind. So they hired a guy to stand out here on the sidewalk and ring a bell and make noise, and he scared the birds over to the library. Well, then the library hired the same guy, and he scared the birds back. So then, about 18 months ago, they put in an electronic system of bird squawking noises. It's the same one they use over at PSO.
That's it on the wall. It's a sonic repeller. It uses birds' own distress calls to frighten them away.
The problem was on the sidewalks primarily, but it eventually made its way into the building.
Huge health and maintenance problem, but since they installed the squawking machine about 5 years ago, there are fewer birds. It uses 8 different species distress calls in a random sequence, makes them think something really bad is happening, so they move on. Other businesses have heard of PSO's success.
What is that sound? How do we get it? We want to get rid of the birds as well.
Several other downtown businesses are using it, so that squawking and screeching you hear in all parts of downtown Tulsa day and night, it's just high-tech bird repellent. Rick Wells, the News on 6.
For more information, visit epestsupply.com.